Today's podcast episode is brought to you by Jellicoe Cherry Blossom Sleeping Mask and Jellicoe Bubble Tea Steam Cream. If you're after deliciously tasty skincare treats that are just for your face, then check out Jellicoe, available exclusively on stylestory.com.au. Welcome to the Korean Beauty Show, where we're talking all things Korean skincare, makeup, and more. If you want to learn about the hottest trending products and ingredients straight from South Korea, then this is the podcast for you. Each week, we'll be diving in to take a look at the latest trends, as well as all the tips and tricks you need to perfect your K-beauty routine. I'm your host, Lauren Lee, professional K-beauty expert and founder of Korean beauty platform Style Story. If office life is draining you in more ways than one, then stick around because on today's episode, I'm going through the best skincare to use for people working in a dry office. So this is a problem I am very familiar with. It's constant AC in summer and heating in winter, and it could really suck the life out of your face, particularly if it's on blast nonstop and centrally controlled, so you can't turn it off or change the temperature even if you want to. It can really wreak havoc on your skin. So stick around if this sounds like you, because I have some tips and tricks up my sleeve that can save your skin. But first of all, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. My name is Lauren Lee, and on this show, we talk all things K-beauty and skincare. I am a K-beauty aficionado, addict, lover, whatever word you would like to describe. I have been living in Seoul for 5 years now, so I'm going to share with you tips and tricks that I picked up around the traps from working in the industry, and also just general musings on skincare. That is what we do on this show. So if that sounds like your jam, then stick around. And I'm going to jump straight into today's topic. So artificial heating, no matter where you guys are listening to in the world right now, you will either be dealing with probably one of two things, which is artificial heating or artificial cooling, because my friends in Australia and New Zealand will be sweating it through summer, and then everyone else is really shivering in the cold in winter. So this is a very common problem for basically all of us. So sitting in an air-conditioned room all day can dry your skin out because of the combination of the hot and cold air from the aircon unit, as well as the wind stream itself. So the closer you sit to the vent, the worse your skin is likely to suffer. And the same goes for heating. It's just the same in reverse. It's all the same issues, except one is cold air and one is hot air. But the outcome on our skin is pretty much the same. Your skin can be afflicted by dryness, itchiness, and skin damage, basically, because it throws your skin's natural moisture balance out of sync. The net result is dry, tight, flaky skin, and skin that is unfortunately easily prone to becoming red. So look, I have dealt with all of these. It's very, very common, particularly for us in Korea, because Korean winter is very, very dry. So in addition to being really, really cold, the temperature often drops, -10. It's not unusual to get to -20 degrees Celsius for us in winter. And the wind is always really bad. And the hair is bone dry. So this is a really common problem. And then I know when I used to live in Australia, it was the opposite. In summer, it's so hot. And if you're lucky, you get to blast the aircon, but unfortunately, not that great for our skin. So there are quite a few preventative measures that you can take to combat the dull and dry, lackluster office skin. And I'm going to run through those today. So basically, there are a couple of things you can do on the spot. And then there are also some things that I think are good to prepare in advance before you get to the office. So the first one is to layer up with an occlusive in your skincare routine. So this is a great way in general if your skin is suffering from any of those conditions. But if it's exacerbated from being in an office like that all day, then layering your skincare and then sealing it off with an occlusive is a really great way to go. So for dry skin types, my recommendation would be to use a thick facial oil in a layer underneath your sunscreen. That can really, really help from drying your skin out. And one of the sponsors of today's show, Jellicoe Bubble Tea Steam Cream, is actually a really perfect occlusive layer for this. It actually contains oil, grapeseed oil in it as one of the main ingredients. So it is just a really great buffer to have. It moisturizes the skin and also hydrates it. So caring for those two needs at the same time. So if you know that you're going to be in a really hot, dry environment, that's a really great one to wear during the day. Now, the second thing I would say is to make sure that none of your skincare products are going to make the problem any worse. So by this, I mean, if any of your products are just generally not a great fit for your skin type, if they're giving you a reaction, or they're going to exacerbate any of the symptoms, then ditch them. So if you're not sure whether a particular product is contributing to any of your issues or whether it is the right product for you, then I've spoken before about patch testing skincare. So if you missed that episode, I think it's somewhere all the way back at the beginning, but go and check that episode out, because patch testing skincare is the best way to isolate whether any products in your routine are just not serving a purpose for you anymore, or worse, if they're actually making your skin worse than it should be. So patch testing is the basic way to eliminate any products that don't play nicely with your skin. And then once you switch out any of the incompatible ones, you can return to focus on layering the ones that do work for you. And I find that that's the best for ensuring that your face is filled with the maximum hydration to battle office aircon, because honestly, it's just like there's so many things wrong with it. So you really do need all the help you can get. Now, if you are on the spot, so you're already at work and your skin is going haywire because it's just so dry, a couple of things that I would suggest. The first one is hit it with a humidifier. So humidifiers are one of the secret weapons behind Korean women's dewy skin. And that's because the steam is not just comforting, but it also keeps moisture in the air, which prevents it from escaping from your skin and eyes. So if you suffer from dry eyes or dry skin, then having a humidifier at your desk is a really great idea. And honestly, you won't find too many offices in Seoul that don't have humidifiers going, particularly in winter. And that's why. It's just because it just gets far too dry. And, you know, if you're going to be staring at a computer screen as well, your eyes will start to really feel that. So there are lots of great little humidifiers that you can buy. I've seen ones that you can plug into your computer. There are miniature ones that you can just pop on your desk. There's heaps that you can use an empty water bottle to then filter the water into the humidifier. So keep an eye out for lots of different options. You don't need to get like a full strength industrial one. I mean, if that's an option for you, then that's awesome. But if you don't, there's plenty that you can pick up for, well, certainly in Korea, you know, $20, $30, $40. So I'm sure that there are options as well overseas where you can do that and just have it sitting on your desk next to you. You will honestly, your skin and your eyes will thank you, because it does make a really big difference. And the second thing that I would recommend having on your desk or close at hand is a mist. So they're not just fancy spray cans filled with water, guys. I know that sometimes it can be a bit like, is this actually doing anything? What they're supposed to do is add moisture back into the skin and then also attract hydration to the skin, which means that you stay hydrated for longer. So my suggestion would be to keep a bottle of misting spray close to your desk and just spritz yourself lightly as needed throughout the day. Now, I've talked to you guys many, many times before about my all-time favorite misting spray, and that is Diablo Pierre de Mont's White Truffle First Spray Serum, and that has natural avocado oil in it, as well as the white truffles. So you're getting a bit of a blend of the oils as well. So it's definitely not just a fancy water, but there are plenty of different brands out there at lots of different price ranges. So you might have to find which mist works for you. The other thing that I've seen a lot of people doing, which is really clever, is if you find a K-Beauty toner, which tend to be on the very hydrating side, if you find a formula like that you really like, you can always decant it into a mist bottle and then keep that on your desk. So there's quite a few formulas like that probably would work really, really well as misting spray. So if you have a toner like that you know about, that you're happy using, then try just getting one of those cheap little decant bottles from Daiso or something like that, and you can have that next to your desk as well and just spritz away as you need it. Now, the other thing that makes a massive, massive difference if you are sitting in one of these dry environments is eye drops. So dry eyes do go hand in hand with dry air, and sitting in front of the computer only does make it worse. So if you find your eyes are getting itchy, sore, or dry, try applying a couple of eye drops, and then also take a break from your screen every so often. I know that's can be hard when you just want to get all your work done so you can get out of there. But if you alternate between looking at documents on and off screen every now and again, that can also really help. And, do try and get out of the office, get a bit of fresh air if you can. That it does make a massive difference. But eye drops definitely are the way to go if you're really finding yourself suffering from that. So that's another one of my tips, is obviously to go and take the air out, because skin does respond well to fresh air, and it will often feel better and a little less tight too if you can pop out for a quick outing. Now, you might have more luck with this if you are escaping from air condition as opposed to heating, because outside, hopefully, it won't be as dry as it is inside. If you're stuck somewhere like Seoul in the middle of winter, it might not make that much difference going outside, but still, just to get a change up in the temperature as well, that can really, really help your mood as well. So do try and get outside. Don't be tempted to just like do your 8 hours of office life, in one fell swoop. Try and get out if you can for a coffee or just a quick walk around the block, or to catch up with someone else outside of the building if you can, if you've got someone like that that is nearby. Now, the other tip I have for you guys, and look, don't kill me for this, because I hate it when people rely on this solely as the cause of their good skin, is stay hydrated, guys, drink water. But honestly, it really will help. If you're in artificial heating or air conditioning, then you will want to try and alleviate some of those signs of perpetual dryness, and 8 glasses of water a day. It is the recommended intake. So I know that probably goes without saying, and it's kind of an annoying piece of advice, but do try and stay hydrated. If you struggle to get all the water you need, which is definitely me, I'm going to put up my little pinky finger there. A couple of tips that I have found to make it a little bit better is actually place the pitcher of water on your desk and make it a goal to drink it by the end of the day. Or if you're feeling a little bit fancy, you can try and jazz it up with lemon or lime or something, so it doesn't taste so bland. That's my big problem with water. I'm just there's so many more interesting things to drink. Why would I waste my time with water? But technically it will make a difference. So yeah, try not to ignore water as well. And if you are looking for skincare products and you're wondering which ingredients should I be focusing more on if my skin is drying out because of sitting in the office all day, 2 ingredients that I would suggest keeping an eye out for. The first one is ceramides. So ceramides replenish your natural lipids that are lost due to exposure to harsh environmental factors, and that includes things like obviously aircon and heating. And they also are great to bolster against the use of drying products as well as the aging process in general. But they are a really great ingredient to look out for if you're suffering because of your office aircon or heating. I mean, look, guys, I'm saying the office, but that's just because normally people that work in an office are trapped in there. But there are plenty of other places that may not be actually an office, but you're also trapped in there with bad artificial heating. So look, I work in an office, hence I'm going to use office, but technically it could be anywhere. So there are plenty of K-beauty products that have ceramides in them. A couple that you might have heard of are Dr. Jart's Ceramiding Cream. They have a ceramide liquid, which is the toner. They have a lip pair with ceramides in them, so that's a really, really popular one. Appleby has their Derma Daily Repair Cream, which has ceramides in it. Beauty of Joseon's Dynasty Cream has ceramides in it, so lots of different products out there that do have ceramides. So keep an eye out for them if you are looking just for products that will help your skin. And then another one, which is a great one anyway, is hyaluronic acid, being that it is a humectant, so a water binding ingredient. That makes it an excellent moisturizer. And the other thing is that it has the ability to remove waste matter from the cells, including when there's little blood circulation. So I think if you're going to use hyaluronic acid in your routine, because it attracts water, I think it's probably best to use it in tandem with a humidifier. So if you've got a humidifier on your desk, then some products with hyaluronic acid are going to really work. Again, there are so many K-beauty products that have hyaluronic acid in it. CosRx has their hyaluronic acid intensive cream. Appleby has their glutathione hyaluronic acid essence and also their aloe hyaluronic acid cream, but honestly, most K-beauty products will have it in it. You might also want to keep an eye out for makeup products that have hyaluronic acid in it as well. I know Mish's Perfect Cover BB cream does contain hyaluronic acid, so keep an eye out for that. So I hope that you guys have managed to pick up a couple of little tips in here, whether you are currently enjoying your summer weather or whether you are shivering through winter. I know this is a really common problem for a lot of people, myself included. So I thought today I'd just do something a little bit different. So do you guys work in an office? Do you work in a dry office? Do you work in somewhere else that has really bad artificial heating or artificial aircon? Let me know. You will find me on Instagram. I am at lauren.kbeauty. And if you guys are looking to talk more skincare advice or meet people that are also interested in learning more and talking more about K-beauty, then I would love for you guys to come and join Style Stories Facebook group. The name of the group is K-beauty Down Under. So you can find us on Style Stories Facebook page, or otherwise just type in K-beauty Down Under. And we have a group going where we talk skincare. People are asking for recommendations for products and things like that. So you can come and find us if you hang out on Facebook. I would love to hang out with you on there as well. And yeah, that's all I had for you. I have another episode planned for next week, which I think you guys are really going to enjoy. Talking a little bit more about the K-beauty apps and websites in Korea that I love. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss that episode when it drops. You will find the subscribe button for the podcast in your podcast app. If you scroll down to the bottom past the reviews, there will be a subscribe button. So I would love for you to do that so you don't miss another episode. And in the meantime, I will see you on Style Story.